Best music. Best music.
Good evening and welcome to Channel Yemaswati News. I'm Linda Shonga with your headlines. A man is said to have succumbed to death following being stabbed multiple times, and it is stated that he bled internally and that was the cause of his death. 2 gunmen were held by the community after being locked in one of the houses they were trying to rob at Mbiwake. Essential amenities belonging to one of the families of Nkomanzi in the Northern Ore region were burnt to ashes today as wildfire approached their home and gutted down their kitchen, which was also used as a storeroom. Yemaswati are encouraged to continue to heed to the protocols of halting the spread of COVID-19, wash your hands with water and soap, sanitize, continue to maintain a safe social distance, continue to avoid crowds and wear your mask. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health in conjunction with the National Disaster Management Agency, and they are funded by UNICEF. Taiwan government assisted in the capacitation of people who are selling handicraft as a way of life, as they continue to encourage them to use social media platforms and online platforms to trade their produce.
Kuthala Mfadi, an initiative which was created by the She-Elephant of the Kingdom Indlovu Mhlaba to encourage women at grassroots level to do handicraft and sell it, today held a workshop in collaboration with the Republic of China, Taiwan. Today held a workshop where they sensitized the women about how they can continue to market their handcraft even without meeting with their clients. This is following the fact that COVID-19 had a negative impact in businesses, as tourists from outside the country, who were the target market of the women, cannot travel as frequently as they used to. A representative from the Ministry of Commerce, Industry and Trade stated that the ministry is behind the women and they will support them, and further applauded the efforts by China Taiwan to educate the women.
Sakade sishaywa nkonje lokuthi sila kulesikhathi lesi semkhuhlane bomake bayafuna funza nathi silitiko futhi kungumgomoto lomkhulu lokuthi sibafudzise lokuthi bafunze kushintsha lemisebenzi yabo ukuze babe nema products lamasha emarket. Lizinga lisetulu kakhulu sesishaywa ngeso nje lesikhathi lokuthi ledinombolo asikhona lokuthi tibe dinkulu letekubafuna.
We spoke to the chief operator of the project, who mentioned that it is very important to educate the women on how they can advertise their product online.
Today this training is focused in handicraft. I believe in Mazini there is one trading hub that is established by Her Majesty. Yeah, we are trying to help them to promote their product, especially under this COVID-19 pandemic. Actually, there are very few foreign tourists come here to buy those products. So we are hoping through this week's training, we ask Swasa come.
Kuthengisela umuntu lotakuta otothenga seyinto yangemuva manje sekudingeka ukuthi abantu batibone letindvo kubo mabonakude kubo ngqondvomshini lesisebenzisa nje lawo makhono la sakhona la sasetshenziswa manje sebenzise bo internet sibuka ke ukuthi kuze ukuthi into yakho utokhona
I am Zandile Mpapane for Channel Yemaswati News with Mxolisi Mavuso ezulwini.
In a matter that occurred at Ngoyameni, a man is said to have succumbed to death following being stabbed multiple times and suffered internal injuries.
Okay, the incident occurred at Ngwenyameni, whereby it is said a loud screaming voice was heard at another homestead, and when they rushed outside, they noticed two men were chasing each other. The other one was already stabbed on the stomach and at the back of the neck. The stabbed man is said to have died at the Sibanze homestead.
ngaphuma ke nami ngadothipha la emgwaqweni ngoba kusikhathi kuyofika kuleyo nzawo ngintela bese babulala ngase ke ngishaya lo mzala ke umzala wami khona la kunangemuva kwakhe nanga ndofuya nathi inkukhu wathi ke nayi kulele nakathi ulele usatawushayela lo munye le7 sakhe legumbi beliphosa lemawona naye wamshayela ke bamthola ke wachaza wena naye ukuthi hayi ungazi la ngaphandle isempi emveni kwalapho ke ungakapheli 5 minutes wasiphinzwa ngishayela umzala athi yana ubona umuntu lele phansi lapha usaya kuye kubuka singabe ngabe wakuphi nje hayi kutholakala ukuthi umuntu uwe mathumba aphumela ngaphandle lokusho ukuthi kumbe ugwaziwe bekuyindlu nje lengakwele enkulu vele emathumbu ongazazi ngwabona umuntu usanje emathumbu ugwazwa ngilelinye belija lala mama
kubona emathumbu emuntu into le bengicala kuyibona yena bekalimele kakhulu umfana ngoba nami nakamemeta ahlaba inyanza leyo ngizongacabanga nje abantu bafuna kuyo umgebenga ngaqale ngathithibala so nase ngishayelwa nguye lo msala ke ngase ngiyasukuma ke sekuba ne-action lengiyendako la khona semkhanza vese emathumbu aphumele ngaphandle.
Maniva bekubangwana
akusakuvakali kahle namanje nami amaphoyisa abuya nje abuya nempendulo ukuthi uthi akade ukuthi bekwendekeni but labanye bakhuluma ukuthi bekubangwa indaba ukuthi uthelona sofuna kulala lo mufi sofuna kulala kuphela bahambe sasiye emsebenzini wasiyahlanya lona wabo yabisukile.
This report was compiled by Gary Carlos and Justice Dlamini at Ngwenyameni.
Clerk to Parliament have opposed Butana Dlamini's application to hold the election to fill the Senate vacant position for Senator Yemaswati. He says Butana should cite reasons if he will not suffer any prejudice if the election is not stopped. This was found in the clerk's opposing affidavit. The Police Information Communications Office continue to encourage Yemaswati to desist from drink and driving. It has been observed that drink and driving is one of the major causes of accidents prevalence in the country.
Confirmed by the Assistant Chief Police Information Officer Inspector Nosipho Mngoni today during an interview with our reporters. Mngoni mentioned that this comes at a time whereby road accidents are at a very high rate in the Kingdom of ESWATINI. She urged motorists to be law-abiding citizens and avoid drinking and driving. She further stated that police will be conducting a certain campaign whereby motorists will be educated on the importance of staying away from alcohol, especially when we are going to drive.
Kule mphela sonto lesuka kuyo sibophe bantu labangishumi kunye 11 laba boshelwe ukuthi batholakele banathe lokho lokudzakisako. Laba bantu ke bavelile enkantolo kumbe labanye bakhona isikhathi ukuthi batawuvela kulokusa kwanamuhla. Singamaphoyisa ke esive nembube sithanza kusho ukuthi ngeke vele siyekele kuba khona emgwaqweni ukugatha ukuthi bantu abathi nasebathethe lokho lokudzakisako bese sebangena etimotweni bayadishayela. Ngoba umsebenzi wethu lomkhulu kakhulu ukuthi siphephise impilo debantu phindze siphephise nako lokho lokuthi imoto tabo le batisebenzisako la mgwaqweni. Siyathi ke ukuthi etingotini akulimali kuphela labo labagibelele imoto ukhanza ukuthi ngalesinye isikhathi kugcine sekulimele nemiphefumulo le innocent kumbe yalabo labahamba phasi ngetinyawo. Lese sikubonile ke futhi ukuthi kulamalanga akupheli nje liviki singathi tfolidonati imibiko yokuthi kube netingoti temgwaco. Singamaphoyisa ke siyethembisa ukuthi sithi awuphuma sifune inhlelo lesingachubeka sithi sebenzise ukuthi abantu phela abathi nabashayela bacikelele kakhulu ukuthi bashayela njani emgwaqweni wesive ngoba siphokophele ukuthi vele lehlise lelinani tato letingodi le ukhanza ukuthi esikhathini esiningi umuntu uyalimala noma ke bese sekuba khona nemiphefumulo lesilahlekelayo.
She concluded by urging motorists in Yemaswati at large to make sure that they follow all the rules of the road. She concluded by emphasizing on the importance of driving cautiously without the influence of alcohol. I am Zandile Mbapane for Channel Yemaswati News with Mxolisi Mavuso, Mbapane.
Mani, kumbula kutsi kuchawulana nekutsinzana, ungathelelana i-COVID-19. Caphela, kumbula kutsi kubambelana sinatfwa ingilasi nyinye, nako kungathelelana i-COVID-19. Ungachubeki, kumbula kuvikela labasiceleni kwakho ngekutsimlela ingoseni. Bagcini besive, asente kuhamba ngemigomo ekuvikela i-COVID-19. Indlela lensha yethu sonke ekuphila ukuthi sitigcine siphephile kanye nesive sonke asikhumbutane njalo ngalesikutshelwa litiko letempilo nge-COVID-19 asikwende konke gcoka sifonyo geza tandla ngensipho nemanti lahambako gcina umkhathi uphindze ugweme ticuku mgcini wesive ungapheli mandla i-COVID ingakapheli.
Ngenzengo lephasi kunayo yonke velonke. Fika utoti itapela tihlahla tetselo nalokunye lokunyenti. Utawutfola nako konke lotakudzinga umulima. Ngisho na organic fertilizer lombala. Lofaka ekhatsi i-BioBiz Bloom, BioBiz Grow, ne-BioBiz Fish Mix, high-grade seeds and fruit trees. Ukwetsembisa ikhetselo. Sivakashele lamuhla. Silapha ngasesiteshini eTeteni. Ku-highway letsi Manzini Mbabane. Shayela zine ku-2518-9361. Noma uti WhatsApp ku-7804-8707. High-grade seeds and fruit trees for all your agricultural supplies.
Two gunmen were held by community members at Mbigwake as they tried to rob one of the community members after being locked in one of the houses. They were able to get 150, which they took from a nearest plaza.
The incident occurred at Mbigwake, whereby there are two men that are said to have gone to another mini market, demanded money from a lady that was selling at gunpoint. It is said that they then went to the house with the lady and pointed a gun at everyone that was in the house and demanded money. That is when they got 150 Malangeni only. Mbigwake residents are still shocked by the robbery that occurred in broad daylight.
Wathi ke na ufuna khipha 500 ngathi ngicela ukumbukela emvetela ngitshela ukuthi ke iqola lakhe licishile kude ngachajisa khona ngathi mine kude ngachajisa khona angathi because ngisendlini khashana emva kwaloko athi segathe lokho kuchamukela umunye ekhoneni aphethele isibhamu athi ngicela ningasanyakati kube into nyakatako ongela le phasi lebhuti bekuvele nginayo la siphaza avele bathekala le phasi nanya bamlalise ngala emva kwesiphaza emva kwaloko bathi kimi ke angikhiphe yonke imali lekhona nginede lo bekathi ukhipha mobile ngikhiphe mina imali yonke bathi incane le mali angikhiphele ngithi mina ngithatha kufika la ukuthi imali ngiyidayisile ngibanete emakhathini banete ngithi kunako lokhona thathani ko emva ahambele baphisa isibhamu ayikulesinye isiphaza eceleni afike angishiye nalo mye bekaphethe nemali athi lo munye asenakelo lobheke lapha esiphaza eceleni ngithathe imali khona imali bengikhiphile mina bengifihlile bengifakhikhini 1000 be1000 ngithathe mina la ngikhiphele imali leyo ngijike ekhoneni phasi ulapho khona bekunelekasi khona yacathi ivinjweni lelikasi nechelo macala ngijike khona amlele mali nababuya abuye lebhuti baphethe isibhamu bafike bavule babuke emakhathonini bangishothi bangayike kuyobuka lapha phasi lelikasi la ngijike khona
sisi bakadayisa emakethe lapha ngendlabo betana bamkhombe ngesibhamu wathi nafika sisiyima wathi-ke imphila iphi imali ngathi mina imali yani manje ngiphethe umfana wami mina wasina-ke bafuna imali athi lo bhuti-ke sitawuphihlitela mfana ngesibhamu thina sikhiphele imali sithi kuphi ngithi mina ishayela make anginyadi mina imali ukuthi ikuphi ihlalaphi sihambe siya legamelo lamake lasifika egamelo lamake afika sesisuitcase lamake akhuhlulise lakhaza avele athi kunemfo lekhuhlutela abone emavilo aqansini le mali emva kwalo wakhiphe 150 sifele 150 linye singayithola emva kwalo basikhiyele bahambe basishiyela ngekhathi ke thina bashiye njalo lokube sesicela ke bamfuthi ukuthi manje bazivulele bamfu bayesaba nabo uvula because ngathi bababonile abantu
Beniba ngakhe nebe banikhela
besingifona sesonke ngemfana emncane
banikhele ngabantu sikhathi
bebo 11 isikhathi nabafika nje bebo 11 isikhathi because thina vele besingakhila mnyango bezivule nje kancane sesibona afu bangena sebanyenda imadvotes fike basikhombe ngalesibhamu nathi-ke vele sithuke.
This report was compiled by Gary Carlos and Justice Lamin at Mbikwakhe.
Manzini Infant Practicing School is commending channel Yemaswati for the content they broadcast, mostly the news that are accurate and number one in the country. They plead with the channel director to visit the school with the crew so that they can have a session of interaction.
Oh, you're not happy. Who is this one? Who is taking a picture right now? Who is this guy? Who is this guy? Booga, booga, booga. Who is this guy? Yes? Ah, la la. Yes, clap hands. Yes.
Labafundi ke besikolo ke lesincane semanzini practicing primary school bathi tebona ke baticelela nje ukuthi kule sikolo kufike wona ke umsakato ke Yemaswati channel kulandzela ukuthi ke liningi lelabafundi ke emakhaya nebatali babo bayobukela ke lo msakato futhi ke bayawuthokotela umsakato ke ube siyafika ke uhamba nato kwenithatheli kuyawuthebula bona ke labantwana labancane labatshengisile ukuthi bayathoda kakhulu ukuthi batawuvela kumabona ukuthi ke Yemaswati channel kulandzela ukuthi bayambukela kakhulu.
Hello channel S, my name is Emuhle Masego. I am 9 years old, and what I love about channel S is that it shows us all of the news and it shows us everything that is going on around Eswatini.
Igama lami nginosimilo ngonkambule ka channel S ngithanda ukubukela inginamba kunabo Captain Dlovu nabo Mapanisi.
The head teacher at the school said ever since schools have opened, all seem to be well.
Lonyaka is just by the grace of God, because labantwana abamfunzanga grade 6 and bonke baka grade 7 kanti phela khona labangaphasanga nalo grade 6 wabehlula kepha ke sesiyawusitwa inkosi, we'll do all we can. Loko lesithathola kutabe ngiloko vele lesideserve ako, but the teachers are working very very hard. Kepha ke kulukhuni vele kakhulu. I cannot lie, kulukhuni.
Lokunye medem kwegcina abantwana ngiva ngathi baticelele kubitwa channel S. Ngabe kulelo hlangothi medem?
Laba labancane bayamthanda kakhulu channel S, bayambukela, sive baxoxa, and so ba excited kakhulu, bayamthanda vele. They feel like they are part of channel S angathi kanjani.
Kungako baticelele?
ngibonga baqhelele vele ngoba bashide bathi teacher sicela kubona channel esifuna ukutibona ka channel S nangithi ngiyathatha study ngikhanza ukuthi vele labaningi bakhona because the children are 1330 minus the grade 7s, the rest bayayibukela vele le channel.
Reporting for Yemaswati channel, I am Nonhlanhla Twala in a report compiled by Gary Carlos in Manzini.
A home suffered huge loss at Nkomanzi in the Northern War region after a wildfire gutted down a storeroom which they also used as a kitchen that contained many amenities they need as a home.
Wildfire burnt down Mrs. Makakula's house off in Nkomanzi in Pispik under the Hoho region to ashes. Mrs. Makakula today during an interview with our reporter stated that they were left with nothing as the house that was burnt down to ashes was a house which the family used to store their food, clothing and other furniture. She mentioned that
a home suffered huge loss
as she stated that she is a widow.
War region after a wildfire gutted down a storeroom.
Sengiyabuya ngikhanze umlilo solaceleni kwasekhaya ngawubona usucamukephi ngitela iqiniso lawo. Okhanze la sithi siyabhulabhula nalabantwana hayi waseshikilisa wavela wasiyangena ngoba usududane. Yasha lendlu nalethi ihlahla. Washa nalethi into ebantwana lapha ngekhasi nalokudla kwethu. Netindishi tami nemabhakede kamngukushele khona lapha ngekhasi. Kude nje indishi. Naleli sidlela kuto lapha ngoba bengibeka khona lapha. Sasala ke sinjena lebantu abami. Washana leli hlahla lengiziphela ngqono bethela ngathi uthi ngifundise leti insanzana.
She further mentioned that all her children died and she was left to look after her grandchildren.
Setinto tebantwana tesikolo netinto tabo tekumbatha nje. Lebe kulapha ngekhathi. Washake nelibhavu lelikhulu. Nemabhodo wami angithi asheke khona pha ngekhasi vele mabhama sekhompyutha lokwamfana kwami lokwakwapha bekuyisebenzisa bengibeke khona pha ngekhasi etafuleni nayo ke yasha sayiva seyibhama nayo khona la ngacela isipho kubantu besami ngoba nalethi ndlu ngide yemntwanami Letindlu tiyaqhika tonke njalo nibona ngifika ekhaya ngoba tiyaqhwasala ukade anginamntwana abantwana labathu nabafe bonke. Sengisala nalokuthi insanzane encane nje ngacela nje usito nkosami manje nalokwendrami noma sibangiphiselela kuba ngwanidrum nje. Lonako nje umuntu manje angilekelele Nkosi yami. Ngiyacela nje izivele nabo.
Those willing to help Mrs. Makakula can contact her on 78168242. I am Zandile Mpapane for Channel Yemaswati News with Employees Mavuso Komazi.
Yemaswati are encouraged to continue to heed to the protocols of halting the spread of COVID-19. Wash your hands with water and soap. Sanitize. Continue to maintain a safe social distance. Continue to avoid crowds and wear your mask. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health in conjunction with the National Disaster Management Agency, and they are funded by UNICEF. Recapping our top stories to end English news. A man is said to have succumbed to death following being stabbed multiple times, and it is stated that he bled internally and that was the cause of his death. 2 gunmen were held by the community after being locked in one of the houses they were trying to rob at Mbiwake. Essential amenities belonging to one of the families of Nkomanzi in the Northern War region were burnt to ashes today as wildfire approached their home and gutted down their kitchen, which was also used as a storeroom. Well, that's all for today. Until next time, please do enjoy the rest of your viewing. Good night.